everybody, and welcome to my Nierychlo online, sharing my love for people here, wine, food, and all things made passionately. So we got a little bit of a special episode for you today. Kind of looks like we're stuck in a boxing ring here. Hopefully it kind of looks like that. We've got some competition action happening. So I'd love to introduce Liam Carrier. Liam, pleasure to have you in the garage.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back.
Glad to have you here. Liam started up iconwines.ca. Tell us a little bit about Icon Wines. Actually, before you tell us about Icon Wines, what got you into wine?
What got me into wine? Yes, funny enough, one of my first things I ever posted online was a little story about how I got into wine.
Okay.
And it was from going to a dinner party with my mom years ago, and I think it was the first time I'd actually been served good wine.
Okay.
I'm, in your early 20s, might experiment, not younger than that, with alcohol, and never liked beer at that age, and I had some really bad wine, and so I never went back to wine. But then about 25, I went to a dinner party, and they served a Grand Cru from Alsace.
Oh, okay.
A Grand Cru Riesling, and blew me away.
Yeah.
And ever since that moment, I've been intrigued about what can go in this juice. It's just fermented juice.
Yeah,
and it can do so many different things, and there's always a story behind, how it's made and the people who make it, and that's where it ties into the people aspect for you, I'm sure, because there's so many interesting people who make wine, and they have a story as well, and so that's what did it for me. Ever since then, I mean, that was almost 10 years ago now, and I've just been not obsessed.
Passionate wine nerd.
Passionate wine nerd.
Yeah, that's what I call myself all the time at work. So we're passionate wine nerds. You catch that?
The super geek.
Yeah, the super geek. Whatever it's like a super Tuscan, super geek, whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us about iconwines.ca. I go on your site quite a bit. Check it out, and we've got great little references and.
Yeah, great. So Icon is split into two. We've got iconwines.ca, which is the main site, the umbrella, the branding, and so on. And there I put stories from winemakers about the different wine regions we look at. And then I also have Icon Scores, .ca, and that's where I actually do the critical reviews.
Okay.
So I like to keep those a little separate, just because if you're not interested in scores, you can always do just Icon Wines. I don't post any scores there, just stories. And that's where we do silly things as well, like the March Meritage and so on. And then Icon Scores is actually the critical aspect of it, where all the reviews are posted there.
Okay, excellent. So if you want to find out some great information about upcoming wines, a lot of BC wines from around the world, Liam's got a great palette. It's got great scores, great descriptions, and neat almost on both sides stories of the wines. It's a good way to just kind of explore the wine world and learn more about what's out there and what you may want to taste.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great plug, Mike.
That's what I'm here for, man. We're in the garage, we're chilling out. So Meritage, or March Meritage, what's that all about?
So I love sports almost as much as I love wine, and I also love silly wordplay, and that all three of those things went together, and we turned March Madness, the NCAA basketball tournament, in honor of that. Because I don't watch basketball except this tournament, but I love doing the pools and so on, and I thought, well, why not turn it into some sort of wine-related thing? Yeah. Even as slight association that it is. So anyways, that's how it kind of came out with it. So there's brackets. We've got a Black Stakes bench bracket. We've got a Naramata bracket, the wild card bracket from all over BC, and the fourth one is the Gold Mile.
Okay, excellent.
And so in traditional brackets, within the pools, they've worked themselves out. We have a final four. Yep. And we've gotten down to the championship, and happy to be
the final two.
Hosting
the final two, yeah. So for March Meritage, combined effort of all the big Meritages from the well-known benches of the Okanagan, and like Liam just said, we're down to the championship match. Now, we're lacking kind of in basketball stuff in the garage, so I thought let's kind of make it look like we'll call it the celebrity wine boxing ring, or what do you want to call it. So we've got two wines that Liam and I are going to taste together. We're going to do a quick kind of spout off on them, and then we'll choose a winner, see who wins your March Meritage. I keep wanting to say March Madness. Your March Meritage. Awesome. Okay, so what's the first one you got for us, Liam?
Okay, so out of the Out of the Golden Mile bracket
Yep.
is the Fairview Cellars.
In the red corner.
In the red corner, sorry. In the red corner, that's right. The Fairview Cellars, the Bear, Meritage blend. The winemaker is and proprietor is Bill Eggert.
Yep.
It's a pretty popular kind of cult following kind of wine. Bill produces some of the best red wines in BC. Very reasonable price too. This comes in at $35.
Yeah, it's definitely a reasonable price.
Which of course is relative to everyone, but
Yeah.
but anyways, yeah. So this is a Cab Sauv heavy blend.
Yep.
With I think equal parts Cab Franc and Merlot as well, and then I think a little bit of Petit Verdot thrown in. I couldn't tell you the percentages specifically, but anyways, it's done really well throughout the competition and is a very popular wine.
Excellent. And so for those of you out there, we'll give you a quick educational tidbit. If you don't understand what a Meritage blend is, Meritage is a classic Bordeaux blend, and there's a classic 5 grape varieties in Bordeaux, and you can use any mix of 2 to 3 of them and up to make a Meritage blend. So we've got Merlot, Cab Sauv, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot, and Malbec are the classic varieties. So these wines, Meritages, are any number of blends of those. So in the blue corner today, the 2008 Nota Bene from Black Hills, a certainly cult-followed wine. This is about $49. We're going into announcer mode here. And this one, the blend is weighing in at 48% Cab Sauv, 41% Merlot, and 11% Cab Franc.
It's much better announcer voice than
awesome. All right, just trying to intimidate the bear a little bit. So, off camera we talked. We should probably taste the Nota Bene. Hope I didn't spoil anything.
Oh no.
Have to taste the Nota Bene first. Go into that one.
Great.
All right. So, like I said, Liam and I, we're going to taste a little bit away here and see how they work out. So, how's Nota Bene doing? Tell us a little bit more about Nota Bene. What do you know about the winemaker? Is
Graham Pierce.
Graham Pierce. Yeah.
Who I think was from Mount Boucherie originally, and then winery president Glenn Fawcett snatched him up as a real up-and-comer.
Okay.
And he took over for the original owner slash winemaker, who I can't remember her name now, actually.
That's fine.
But,
no problem.
But anyways, Graham has a nice little portfolio.
Yeah.
They've got a Viognier, Chardonnay.
Yeah.
They've got the Alibi, which
yeah.
is their white blend, and then of course the Nota Bene.
Nota Bene, which has been the one that's put Black Hills on the map.
Absolutely,
as far as wineries, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a massive mailing list that it
well, one year they sold out in like 56 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy. I think it was the 07, and then the 08 was a little different because because it is a field blend, as you said, they can only have so much of it every year.
Yeah.
And then, however, it's some years they do sell off some of the grapes. In 08, I believe they didn't, and that's why there was more of it available. 09 coming out soon is another story. There won't be as much of it.
Oh,
so
it's a very interesting vintage 09. We'll see what
yeah,
happens with that
absolutely.
one. Awesome. So what do we get on this one? Wait, for me on the nose, it's got a really interesting nose. It's got so much like smoke and smoked pepper, almost like a. Oh, it's got the nice green play, but it's got almost kind of like a sage meets green bell pepper.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still that that dark, that nice dark juicy fruit though.
Absolutely,
as well,
it's definitely got
which
fruit
should be the
characters.
key of any kind of
Oh,
Cab
of course,
Sauv,
of course.
A blend, but.
Yeah, kind of almost that rich, round black cherry skin.
So it's actually been a little while since I've tasted this.
Yeah.
And,
It's displaying really nicely.
yeah,
right now.
they do. I mean, they do release their wines, their big Meritage, relatively early compared to a lot of the other wineries. And so an extra year, as this one now has, in bottle, really does go a long way, I think.
It's got a beautiful finish to it too, hey? It's got it's not over the top, it's not goopy, it's not cloying in any way. It's got a nice clean, like silky tannins on the palate, but it's got almost like that kind of vanilla bean from the oak program finish. Really enjoy that. Just soft and
Yeah, definitely French oak with all the vanilla and so on.
yeah.
It
Definitely enjoyable wine. This is delicious. It's drinking very nicely right now.
is. It really has come into its own in the last year.
Tough competition for the
Yeah,
bear.
it's a good start.
Absolutely. It's enjoyable. All right, well, shall we get into the bear?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see what he's offering up.
Oh, that was a big pour.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Not complaining.
There we go.
Well, here we go. See, what's so interesting is these are similar styles of wine from the Okanagan, but this is a completely different nose. It smells completely different than Nota Bene. It's got softer, more subtle flavors coming through.
Yeah, I think one of the things I think is interesting in comparing these two wines is that the Black Sage Bench Weight and versus the Golden Mile, depending on the aspect of the sun, right? They get the morning sun, and then probably longer, cooler evenings, and then the sun tends to settle longer, I think, in the Golden Mile.
For sure.
If I'm getting that. Or, no, it's the other way around.
Oh, okay.
it's the other way around. That's right. They get more evening sun on the Black Sage Bench, and then just longer nights. I suppose.
More longer nights, for sure.
On that Golden Mile.
There we go. This has got more of a kind of almost that plum liqueur coming through on it. And it's got that really neat dirt smell. I just smell the terroir coming through on this one for sure. As opposed to a lot of the spiced and vegetal characteristics of this one. This one's got the terroir coming through. You're just smelling the dirt. This is tough competition between the two. They're both drinking very nicely. This has got a lot more of that, I'm going to say, dark chocolate meets coffee bean. Yeah.
Now, Bill makes his wines to age to the degree that he actually puts the best after date right in the back label. Now, this one he recommends not till after December 2013, which is still quite a ways away.
There you go.
And I've recently been tasting some older examples of this wine, and they really do come into their age after about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's tough. I mean,
they both have great mouthfeel. They're both drinking very nicely.
Yeah.
They've got that just a nice finish to them. Both would pair nicely with food.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice wines. So, what we're going to do, actually, for those of you who didn't get a chance to see them, we'll show the bottles up to you. There's the Nota Bene.
And there's the bear.
Yeah.
Just catch the light. There we go.
So stick around. After these brief messages, while the judges deliberate, we'll be back with you with the winner of our championship. So, after some fierce deliberation off camera between Liam and myself, we've come to a unanimous decision. But before we announce the winner of the championship round, let's just go through them a little bit and explain what we think. So Liam, tell us what you thought of the wines.
Yeah, tough competition, as we were both saying. They are very even in a lot of aspects. We were both saying how both love the aspect of terroir expressed in both. Especially the bear. But in terms of Nota Bene, we both love the drinkability of it right now and so on. And they're similar blends. They're both amazing wines. They're both, to me, basically kind of experience wines. So you can pair it with food, like you were saying before, but you don't have to. These are both great wines to impress your friends with. Bring out a bottle of either of these and... Gosh, people will be happy. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. What did you think, Mike?
I thought very much the same things. Both decent wines, terroir driven. Nota Bene, as a wine itself, has a little bit more savory notes. You get a lot more of that kind of vegetal aspect, a bit more of that spice, that pepper. The bear, you get a little more of that expression of the dirt, a little bit more of the fruit. Slightly more balanced, I think. There's a little few aspects of the Nota Bene. Both wines exceptional. I'm extremely pleased with both wines. Yeah. Very happy with how they both drank. I, at any given point, would be super stoked if someone brought one of these to my house.
Yeah, can't go wrong with
yeah. But all in all said, shall we say who won?
Absolutely, Mike. Please do that.
I will. So, in the red corner, the bear, in first place, winning the championship over the Meritage Madness. The March Meritage. We've unanimously chosen the bear. We're both really excited with the 2008 bear, how it displayed its characters. Again, both exceptional wines. Bear we just think has a little bit more ageability. drinking exceptional right now. Just a very good balanced mouthfeel and palate feel, and proving
Absolutely.
itself from the Golden Mile bench.
Yeah, so Golden Bench takes this year, 2011. Perhaps we'll get together again 2012 and do it all over
more
again.
of a full-fledged
and
kind
see
of
what happens
battle all
next.
the way through.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good.
Absolutely.
So Liam, I appreciate you coming by for the show.
Thanks for having
Excellent.
me.
So if anybody wants to check out Icon Wines, what's the website? What's the address?
Yeah, again, so it's split into two. So we've got iconwines.ca for the articles and so on, and then like March Meritage. And
Yeah, if you want to check out March Meritage.
all the results will be posted up in there, and of course we'll link both sites.
Yep.
And then iconscores.ca if you want to read the specific reviews about either of these wines.
Excellent. And I'll have a link below the video for you as well, so you can click straight over to Icon and check out Liam and what he's got to offer.
Awesome.
So everybody, thank you so much for watching today. Thanks again, Liam, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And remember, wine, depretensiousized. We'll see you on the next episode.